Glitch tweeted the final teaser for the 5th episode of Amazing Digital Circus. The 5th episode comes out as early as tomorrow. In fact, Caine and Bubble decided to do an experiment on the main character. They, as artificial intelligences, see it all as harmless trials, and the main characters will undergo real suffering. In this video, I'll tell you all about the new teaser and secret information about the plot of the 5th episode. Let's take a look at the final teaser. It's a new little animation without sound. On it, the faces of each of the main characters quickly appear and disappear. The faces also get outlined in red, yellow, and orange outlines in the video. The faces of the characters appear in a specific order. Caine's face appears first, with Bubble's face appearing second. They look calm and even content. Then we see the faces of Pomni, Jax, Ragatha, Gangle, Kinger, and Zubul. Their faces are noticeably different in facial expressions from Caine and Bubble. Each of them looks worried, exhausted, and anxious, except Kinger probably has something shining in his eyes so he can't concentrate and regain his sanity. I think Kinger purposely decided not to make a worried expression on his face to make him stand out from the rest of the main characters. In recent days, we've been constantly building theories about Episode 5 around Caine being the victim of bugs and glitches. We assume that all of the main characters' problems stem from Caine having bugs in the program. So Caine is kind of innocent of what's going on. He does horrifying adventures and bad things like killing Gummigoo not intentionally. That said, throughout the teasers for Episode 5, Caine doesn't look sick or malfunctioning. In the final teaser, he looks pretty chipper. I suspect that the whole thing is actually some sort of large-scale experiment. Caine and Bubble pretend to be malfunctioning to watch and study the reactions of the main characters. They study people and have fun with these actions. That's right, Gummigoo's death, the digital hallucinations, the mind control in Episode 3 were all done intentionally to drive Pomni and the rest of the main characters crazy. Now let's discuss a couple more theories about Episode 5. In one of my last videos, I brought up the topic of secret NPCs that are supposed to appear in Episode 5 and play an important role in the story. I found another secret NPC that I haven't told you about before. I want to go back to the teaser where the main characters are in free fall due to Caine breaking the reality of the adventure. Many different objects can be spotted in the air with the characters, relating to the new adventures from Episode 5. However, one of these objects is very hard to explain. Next to Kinger, a strange orange head can be spotted, as if made of lava. This object looks like the head of a baby doll, only scary. I think this head might be one of the new NPCs that will threaten the main characters. The lava head most likely refers to an office location, and I can explain that. If we look at the screenshot for the office location from the Wacky Watch website, we see something interesting in the text next to the picture. After the usual and rather expected phrases about the other characters, it says, Kinger has yet again summoned the A4 paper demon from the 9th circle of hell. That could really explain everything. This strange, scary head really fits the description of the demon from hell. Plus, it's right next to the Kinger who summoned it. Furthermore, I think we've already been shown not only the demon's head, but its body as well. In one of the early teasers, we see all the main characters in a dark room with only one bright white light source in the middle. The strangest detail in this teaser is that there is someone else in this room besides the main characters. In the right corner of the picture, you can notice an extra silhouette that looks like a wooden mannequin, but I don't think it's a wooden mannequin at all. The demon that Kinger summoned is this strange figure, and I have confirmation of this. Gooseworks' Tumblr has one additional screenshot from Episode 5. It shows Kinger looking fearfully at someone in a dark room. My theory: it's the same dark room as the room from the previous teaser. In that case, Kinger looks so scared because he saw the demon before the rest of the characters. It's worth noting that in the teaser with the dark room, Pomni is in a very strange pose. The last time she took this pose was in Episode 3, when the spirits from hell took control of her body. In addition, the caption states that this is not the first time Kinger has summoned these demons. This hints that we've seen this demon before. Perhaps this dark room is in the same hell that Kinger and Pomni were in Episode 3. In this dark room, the main characters will once again encounter ghosts and Baron Mildenhall, as well as possibly Angel. The main characters will be able to escape the trap, but the demons will find a way to follow them into the office location. This will pose a serious problem because, without Caine's help, the ghosts are the NPCs that can pose a real threat to the main characters. Caine won't be able to come to the hero's aid because he will have trouble with bugs that have occurred in his program. Gooseworks' Tumblr has another interesting post regarding the plot of Episode 5. Gooseworks recently tagged her post, which she captioned as Digital Circus Episode 5 Spoiler. The video features a 2-second excerpt from the Gaslight District pilot. It shows one of the main characters, Mud, getting scared behind the wheel of a truck when the Angel's security chief appears in front of him. The important detail is that the Angel security chief recognizes Mud. Gooseworks posted this one 3 days before episode 5 came out and wrote that it would make sense 3 days later. From that, I can deduce that this post is directly related to the plot of episode 5. I have a few guesses as to how such a situation could happen. The first option is that when the protagonists get out of all the adventures in episode 5, they will realize that all the chaos all along was Kane's fault. There will probably be conflict between Kane and the players. I'm not ruling out the option that we'll see the first battle between Kane and the main characters in episode 5. The second option is that the NPCs from the old adventures that will return in episode 5 will be very angry at the main characters and will want to kill them. I'm betting that we're talking about the ghosts and demons from episode 3 here, but perhaps we're talking about Gummigoo and his friends here, as well as the evil doppelgangers of the main characters. The thought also occurred to me that Bubblegum might be to blame for the bugs in Kane's program. If the main characters realize this, they will definitely go crazy with anger at Bubble. In that case, this spoiler refers specifically to Bubble. The Glitch channel recently released an unusual shorts related to the 5th episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. There are a lot of interesting details hidden in this clip, and today I'm going to break down all of the pass halts I was able to find. First, we see an old CRT monitor, the exact same one that appeared in the pilot episode when Pomni was running around the office space. This is a clear reference to the office location that was also shown in the teaser and trailer for episode 5. It's clear from the reflection on the screen that Pomni is sitting at the computer. The wallpaper is an image of a blue sky with clouds. This is probably a picture of the sky above the circus tent. The video itself is called Kids in the 2000s Be Like, which immediately sets the atmosphere of Windows XP and nostalgia for the early 2000s. It's like a visualization of a typical situation that kids of those years were in. Our parents would let us use the computer for a while, and we would greedily search for games on it. It seems that in the 5th episode, Pomni will find herself in a similar situation. Tired of the office routine, she decides to look for something entertaining during her break. A window appears on the screen that says, "Click an avatar to represent you." It looks like she has indeed found a game on her computer. Among the choices available are all the main characters from Digital Circus. Pomni decides to click on each one in turn to see what happens. And that's where the fun begins. She chooses Bubble first. We hear the sound of bubbles and the screen fills with bubble animations. In past episodes, with the exception of the pilot, Bubble only had one line, after which he disappeared. But judging by the trailer, he'll get a lot more screen time in episode 5 and become an important participant in the events. Pomni then clicks on Jax. A spinning apple and a strange sound appears. This is most likely a reference to old 3D YouTube videos where objects rotated to absurd music. There's no obvious connection between the apple and Jax. It would be more logical to see corn because, as we know, he hates it. It even appears in the teasers and trailer of the 5th episode. Perhaps the apple is his favorite fruit, the antithesis of corn. When Pomni clicks on her icon, an image of an exit door appears that takes up half the screen. She starts actively clicking on it, but the door eventually explodes. This may be a hint that in episode 5, Pomni will try to find the exit again, without success. Last time, it was the door that led her to the office, suggesting a connection between that location and the exits. It's possible that Kane will continue to taunt her by slipping her a fake door. This could also suggest that in the new episode, it will be the exit doors that will be used to move between locations. When Kinger is pressed, the screen goes completely white, and we hear a nasty noise. This is probably how Kinger perceives bright light. It blinds him and disorients him. This explains why he often can't hear others and forgets what's going on. The next choice is Regatha. A cloud appears on the screen with her image, hair upside down. This is reminiscent of the scene in episode 3 when Regatha was holding her breath. In episode 3, Kinger's ability, which activates when she holds her breath, helped him and Pomni get through the adventure. It looks like her skill will come in handy for the team in episode 5. Now it's Zubal's turn. On screen is her orange hand hitting the door with Jax's image on it. This could foreshadow a major conflict between the two. We've already seen in the trailer how Jax swings the door open and punches Zubal. Perhaps that's where their fight will start. But now, Zubal is able to fight back and even win the altercation. Pomni presses Regatha again, and her cloud disappears after a brief spin. perhaps symbolizing the instability or short-term nature of her interference in events. After clicking on Gangle, there is a loading animation that doesn't end. Pomni doesn't wait for it to complete. This probably means that Gangle won't have an active role in episode 5. But her arc isn't over yet. Perhaps the highlights with her are yet to come. Pomni taps her icon a few times, and at one point, realistic gray eyes appear on the screen. Perhaps those are her real eyes from the real world. Or maybe it's an allusion to the scene in the trailer, where Kane floats among giant eyes. These images are glimpsed from the pilot itself, perhaps a metaphor for Kane keeping an eye on everyone in the circus. Finally, when you click on Kane, the screen fills with pop-up errors. One says to install an update. Perhaps it's this update that will cause the glitches in episode 5. Another error mentions a change data operation. Presumably someone from the outside is trying to rewrite Kane's program code, causing it to become unstable. A third message informs of an imminent system restart in less than a month. This could be a direct hint to the release date of the new episode, June 20th. The heroes may have to do a complete reboot of Kane, which could involve losing all of his memories. All in all, this short clip is not just a fun nostalgia sketch, but an intense teaser with a lot of hints for the 5th episode. We'll just have to wait and see which ones come true. What are your thoughts on this? Jax will have a genocide of NPCs in the savannah? Does Kane need to be rebooted to help him get rid of his glitches? What do the eyes in the trailer mean? Write your thoughts and theories in the comments and I'll be sure to read them. Remember that the best comments will make it into the new videos. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck everyone, and bye-bye.